Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. So this is episode 2 of Bell's Corner. If you're out there and you don't really know what Bell's is, go check out the episode 1. It'll really give you a walkthrough of Adam McBride and everything that those guys have over there, with including the 2013 launch of Bell's and to what we have today. So go check out that video if you haven't seen this one yet. If you haven't seen that one yet. But we have a great show today. We're just going to kind of dig in with Adam, kind of see some updates and stuff like that. If you're wondering, like, oh, why are you guys covering Bells? Because it's the entire Ordinal ecosystem. They have Ordinals over there, right? They call them probably something else, but they have Bell 20s over there. It's basically the same. And I feel like we really have to dig into that because it's all going to come together at the end. We're going to have this giant ecosystem. Whether it's all going to last, we're all in this together, right? But I think it will. I think it's all going to come together at once, and maybe Opcat does that. So we're going to get into that because we know where Opcat is now and kind of where it's going. But Adam said last time, just to you remember, that Opcat testnet is going live on Bell, so we're going to ask him about that as well. So without further ado, let's bring in my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
What's up, dude? So last one was great. It did really good. I got over 4,000 views on it, so people were really, really into it. What was your opinion from the last episode, and what do you expect from this one?
Yeah, I loved it. Just picking Adam's brain. He's an OG in the space in general, right? With all his experience with the history of NFTs and just being a co-founder of Emblem Vault, and then being just really present in the Bitcoin ecosystem space. And now, kind of taking this new responsibility. I don't know if he wanted it, but he's taken it of leading Bell's chain, right? And that was awesome. You just love to pick the brain of people that are experienced and have been in the space in general for a while. So it was really fun, and I can't wait to dig into the updates that he has for us today.
Yeah, I'm curious what your opinion is. When I said, like, kind of bringing Bells into the ecosystem, do you feel that way? Do you feel like it's all going to kind of come together one day?
I mean, I am seeing kind of a similar template to the last cycle, right? Except for now we're doing it with UTXO model chains and Bitcoin, right? So last cycle it was Ethereum, and you got to give it credit to those developers and stuff that kind of started that DeFi movement. But then you had a lot of replication or layer 2s and scaling with different chains and stuff like that. And that's what we're seeing here. It's like we're trying to solve problems in our space. Sometimes we create problems, but then we solve them, right? And that's what's happening, man. It's kind of running the playbook back, except for different technology. It's UTXO, and I think it's needed because Ethereum has its ecosystem, and now Bitcoin's truly building out its ecosystem. And I think Bell's chain is going to be a part of that. Obviously separate chain completely, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw bridging and stuff like that in the future.
100%. So without further ado, let's bring in Adam McBride. Adam, welcome back.
What's up, guys? Part of the week, man. This is appreciate you guys having me on. It's always fun to talk about Bells and what the heck's happening on Bitcoin. I mean, Fractal. They dominated the timeline this week, man. They crushed it for sure. I don't know. It's at like $4 billion market cap right now because there's 8 tokens trading back and forth. So it's like gone crazy. Congrats to those guys for somewhat successful launch. I think it was a little bumpy in the beginning, but they got it out, got it going, and I don't know. I saw tokens. You could mint tokens and stuff, or it was going. So congrats to those guys for rolling that out.
Yep. Yeah, they actually got front ran. Unisat got front ran by some. I mean, I don't know why they didn't expect it. They just saw what happened the past year on Bitcoin with all these devs putting out meta protocols and new fungible token standards, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, we just forked it. It's open source. Go ahead." Right?
That's my favorite part of crypto is like you could see this coming. There was gonna be fungible tokens. Who was going to do it? And devs are devs, bro. Why not go launch one first and you get first in the door? And, people are smart, and crypto has like the smartest people on earth. So not surprising at all. You wish you had the time and energy and smarts to do it yourself. Sometimes you do, most times you don't, but it was, pretty fun to watch that and to see some good, use cases. I mean, cause obviously this is something we want to, replicate on Bell's Coin. And actually been talking with quite a few teams who are building on Fractal, try to convince them to come over onto Bells and give it a shot there too, because it's real easy to port your stuff over. And as I've said before, I think I said on the last show, it's like, the big negative for me on Fractal is the huge pre-mine, right? And that, not to say those guys don't deserve to earn money and make money because, they're leading this charge. No doubt. But if you're a builder, you can own a huge portion of Bell's coin for very little. I think it's now it's probably 1/200th of the market cap of Fractal. So, if you're going to put 15 grand into Fractal, shoot, you buy 15 grand at Bells. First, you'll probably move the market, but you can own a pretty big stake in Bells. You know what I mean? So, risk reward is pretty good for builders over here, I think.
Yeah, man. And for people that don't know what we're talking about, obviously, Fractal Bitcoin launched on Sunday. Today is Wednesday, and yesterday we seen Flux, which was a fork of Pipe, which is a project from Benny, and we're hearing that Benny had MIT licenses, and these guys kind of went about that not the right way and launched Flux, but they're indexing themselves. And then just yesterday or last night, we saw this thing called Cat 20. Right, so Cat 20 launched, and apparently you need no indexers. It's a whole new standard. It's pretty crazy, but like you said, Opcat's coming to Bells, right? So we can potentially see something like that as well.
Literally, you can see it all. Everything they're doing over there with Opcat. As far as my smooth brain goes, it's never copy paste, but as similar as you're going to get to you should be able to spin it up over here. And, we have a community of people who are psyched to, support stuff. What's going to win? It's the same thing over on Fractal, like which is going to be the winning protocols. What are people going to use long-term? That has to all kind of play out. But yeah, it's exciting to see for sure.
What did you think about kind of the intro when Shizzy brought me in and we were talking about, and I brought up the fact that we're kind of doing a similar template of last cycle with Ethereum and these like Polygon, Arbitrum, AVAX, right? EVM chains, but now it's UTXO. Does that make sense to you? Do you agree with that, or what do you think?
Totally agree. I think we're actually repeating to a large extent last year's cycle, a little bit in reverse, from DeFi summer to NFT. We're going NFTs to DeFi. Little bit in reverse, but just on Bitcoin. I think that's kind of the observation of this cycle is we're running it back on Bitcoin. That's what Bitcoin season 2 is all about. Which, just from a historical perspective, this was tried on Bitcoin. The maxis, shut it down back in, 2016 and 17. But they didn't have the power to shut it down this time. And we saw that, that's what's happening. And it's really interesting. It was a bit predictable. But hey, it is what it is. We all love playing on Bitcoin. We want Bitcoin to be successful. And I think for Bell's coin, it's about, hey, it's a proof of work blockchain, which, a lot of Bitcoiners vibe with. It's now merge mined. So it's as secure as Doge and Litecoin. It's got real life to it, and it's still like in its infancy. I don't even know what the market cap is. We dipped a bunch. It might be at $30 million, $28 million market cap, where it's like, dude, garbage shitcoins, go for $100 million. You can get in on something where people are actually building here, and might be nothing, but might be something significant because it does have this really cool narrative. And now the tech is actually fucking pretty awesome, man. The tech is really, devs hit me up. They're like, holy cow, man, this is amazing. Like, I know people were launching, NFT projects in the last week. They couldn't believe it. Mint a 10K collection for $1 or $2, on-chain, collection. And I'm watching our ordinal count, which I don't know, was at 130 million a couple of weeks. Dude, it's at like 160 million now. Like, people are just inscribed. It's the most inscriptions on any blockchain on earth. Like, we've already passed everybody, and it's just going to blow. We're going to be at 1 billion soon. It's crazy.
How much do you think it is to mint an inscription over there?
Dude, it's like nothing. Pennies. If not even a penny. Like, I'm telling you, I'm in it at 10K and it was $3.
A 10K collection for $3. Oh my god.
What about a secondary? Like, how much is, like, if you're at 1 million right now, how much is like 1,000?
160 million. We're at 155 million or something like that.
Oh wow. Yeah. But how much would it, like, a sub 1,000 collection go for today, you think?
I have no idea what they're selling for. Probably not a lot. I mean, I'm probably not a lot. You could probably get, $20, $30, $50. I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
I have some. People have gifted me some. I don't even know where they are, what wallets they're in, dude. At the launch of these things, it's so diluted and like it's just a bit of a mess. I haven't figured out my wallets and stuff yet. I got to go back and find that stuff.
in 9 months, you're going to be like, oh, wow, how much is that? I think I have one of these. And you're going to be gearing up trying to find it.
A guy who did this guy, Graham Bells, who actually figured it was the same sort of thing. Like the devs had enabled it. They did a soft fork so you could do ordinals, but they hadn't actually figured out like how to do it yet. They just knew you could do it. And this guy, Graham, who had done like Litecoin ordinals, he figured it out first and minted a bunch at the beginning. He sent me like one of the first, like he did like the rocks or whatever. I don't even know. It's like a top 20, rock. I'm like, God, I hope I didn't lose that wallet, man. I don't know where the wallet is, bro. I sure hope I didn't lose it, man. But that's part of this stuff, man.
Hey, man. I want to touch on the halving again. I know you spoke on it last time, but first, for anybody who doesn't remember, it's happening in November, correct?
Yeah, crazy enough, November 5th, election day.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, timelines fucking lining up. It's literally crazy. We call it a halving. Actually, guys in the community call it an epoch because it's not a true halving. True halving on Bitcoin is, right, the block is, you literally get half as much, after the halving for a block reward. This is actually like a 90% reduction. So November 5th, 90% less. Like right now, I think it's about 200,000 Bell per day. So miners are still dumping. We're having this kind of period of, I think it dropped down to like, I don't know, 60 cents a Bell or something this week. But after November 5th, bro, it drops to like whatever 90% of that is. So, 10, 15,000 Bell per day or something. And then in another 180 days, it goes down its final 90%. And that's where we get to basically 1,500 Bell per day, which is.
And that will go on forever, right? Okay,
forever.
Gotcha. But
basically a million Bell. Sorry, it's not 1,500. Yeah, it's 1,500 more or less per day. A million Bell per year to infinity. So it does have a nice, really nice tail emission. I think, for the tokenomics side, I think Bells just has this like, Billy just did this really amazing, I think, where it's not like Doge, where Doge has this, huge amount of supply. It's 10,000 Doge every block, so 10,000 Doge every, minute forever. It just gets crazy. This is really, really nice. $1 million a year forever to pay the miners, but the price, the number of Bells isn't massively impacted every year. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, $1 million a year, you said, right?
$1 million a year forever.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Next year we'll hit 60 million. 60 million is like the number to hold on to. Like, what's the supply of Bell? 60 million, right?
And then $1 million a year after that.
Yep.
Dude, that's actually solid tokenomics in my opinion, especially for open-ended supply. Bells coin in general, Bells sounds like one of those tokens that can really just take off in the bull market. It's like, I don't know, because it's connected to Doge, but like obviously like there's going to be that every cycle, something. And I feel like this is just like set up for that, man. It's set up for the degens. It's set up for the meme culture, and you are at the head of it in terms of like community leadership and stuff like that. That's awesome.
I mean, it has like it has that the memeability, and then it has that like you said, like that supply where it could just completely rocket ship. It wouldn't take much to rocket ship because once the miner rewards are reduced like that, it just 60 million is nothing, right? And it could get really interesting really fast for sure.
And I mean, that's the thing on I'm sorry, go ahead.
When memes can just run crazy.
And that's the thing on Bitcoin. Obviously, in the year 2140, I think Bitcoin is done. You can't have that on Bells because they'll never be able to work because the miners need a reason to keep going. And you guys are, like you said, it's like a fraction of a penny. Obviously, Bell's going to get more expensive, so that fraction of a penny might go to a penny, but it still will never be enough to keep the miners going. So you actually need that inflation forever.
Well, we needed the inflation, but what we really needed to do as a community was get the merge mining done because standalone bells. Okay, we had a lot of people mining us, right? Because there was a lot to be made. But the merge mining is this perfect thing where now we know they're going to mine us, because even if bells stayed at $1, all right, they'll still just do it because it's an extra, $1 million a year, right?
Yeah.
So it's still going to happen. There's zero question about that. But when you see, and now that people have educated me on what happens when miners hold a significant amount of the supply, and no doubt miners hold a significant amount of bells right now. Like I'd say the vast majority of bells is held by miners. When that happens, you can get crazy runs in price. And that happened with Doge. Like, don't fool yourself. Doge has a lot of whale miners that hold significant portions of it. And when they constrict supply, price can go astronomical. It's the same thing that's happened with Fractal, right? When there's almost no liquid supply trading, and there are a bunch of degens who want to get into it, the price just goes crazy, right? And that's certainly possible with bells, because it is very much owned to a large degree by miners right now, for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing with bells. You need bells to inscribe. You need bells to transact. So there's a constant demand, not from just investors, but from people actually using the chain.
Yeah, and we got tons of people. Like I said, the number of inscriptions and stuff, it's crazy. I mean, we're doing under 60-second block times, super solid, and each block has between 3,000 and 4,000 transactions. Like, it's firing. Pretty awesome. And Luke I think I shared it with you last time, as he's done a breakdown of, well, what if bells went up to 10x this volume and stuff like that, and it wasn't like, there's no concern that your transaction to send some bells is going to cost you $50. Like, it's still going to be, it might get to a penny maybe, or some crazy super low number. It's still super, super reasonable
compared to anything else. Yeah, for sure. Especially Bitcoin and Fractal, for sure. Last time we talked to you, you said you guys were bringing Opcat to testnet.
Yeah,
I was wondering if you can share any updates with that.
We were hoping to get it done early this week. It hasn't happened yet. They've got it live on what they call their DevNet. So the devs are testing it, but they're going, they don't. Me, I'm like, break the chain, but they're like, go fuck yourself, McBride. We're not fucking breaking.
We're not going through that again, where we had to unclog it.
Let's get it out before Fractal. They're like, go fuck yourself. Sorry. Yeah. So it hasn't happened yet. I'm still hopeful we're going to get it before the end of this week on testnet. So, and I already have my DMs. I already have like 5, dev groups who are ready to get on it and basically do what's happening on Fractal right now. So pretty excited about that. I'm super pumped. It's going to be really fun to see them, get out there, see what happens, and make sure it works, and then go live. And I'm sure when it goes live, we'll have a day kind of like Fractal did, yesterday, maybe even more crazy, because people have already done it on Fractal, where, people are like, well, I'll just do my own whatever, Cat 20. Let me go do it. And, we got a lot of smart people in our community too. And so, people will ape in and degen in and start up all that stuff, man. So it could be even kind of crazy at the beginning.
Is that hard for you? Because I feel like you have, this really good marketing aspect of yourself in terms of your skill set, but like, devs, they, like you said earlier, they're just not socially inclined that way, right? And so with you've been, a founder of Emblem Vault, how to do the marketing part, but sometimes when you approach the teams and stuff, they give you pushback. Has that been hard for you to adjust to that?
It's not hard. I have so much experience in just kind of regular business life and stuff. I know how people operate, right? And devs, devs do what devs do. They don't work on timelines. They don't do any, I consider myself fortunate when I work with really good people, and devs especially. And I've been, obviously blessed with Emblem Vault, but definitely blessed with Bells. These guys are like top tier, amazing. And so, I have nothing to say other than I think we should do this, or I think we should do that. And they correct me and like, go, no, that's not going to happen. Because I was like, hey, let's spin up drive chains too. They're like, no. But they are leaning in. We're gonna have Opcat hopefully by the end of the week. ZKs are another thing. They're gonna they told me they're going to do ZKs and stuff are going to be available as well. So yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a fun couple of weeks here, man.
Be awesome.
Do you need Opcat to do a ZK? Probably, right? I can't see any other way.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure, but I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the 17th, we got Taproot goes live on the 17th. That's kind of, I think that's our next. Yeah, that's our September 17th. That's when OpCat goes live. So is
that mainnet for Taproot?
What's that?
That's a Taproot mainnet, or is that testnet?
On mainnet. Yep. Taproot on mainnet. It's live right now on testnet, and so it's
okay.
Yeah, it'll go live on mainnet on the 17th. And yeah, we're moving fast, man. Move fast and break things, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty big for the wallets, right? I mean, I know you guys have on Nintendo. Sorry, I always mess that up. But yeah, so are they ready for something like that? Because they basically have to add that to their wallet, right?
They've actually, it's already in the wallet. You can actually create a wallet with Taproot in it, which was, I think, maybe a mistake by them. Because if you select that, you can't actually use it until you can like receive Bell and stuff, but you can't actually like send it, or whatever. So yeah, it's live on their wallet already. Yeah,
it'll just basically work once it's enabled on mainnet.
Correct. Exactly. Gotcha. Like the address can receive funds and stuff, but you can't send it out.
Gotcha. Do you feel like that's something that's kind of holding the marketplace back a little bit, not having Taproot there, and then there'll be more, I guess, like a user-friendly marketplace, or because the only thing that I see is Nintendo, and I don't know if they're done with their marketplace.
Oh yeah, they're not done. I think what's holding them back isn't anything necessarily technical.
Okay,
it's just a bodies thing. Building a functioning marketplace is not, takes time. And
gotcha.
And so, yeah, I think it's just more about, time and energy for them to kind of get the marketplace better. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, man. I kind of want to jump into some of the NFTs. You said a lot of NFTs were minting there. I did see something on my timeline about I think someone in our community reached out to us. Do you remember the name of the NFT?
We had the puppets launched this week. I don't know if
that's what
really
it was.
Puppets. Yeah, those guys launched. And
I knew it was something. Yeah.
How do you find them?
Well, I just saw it on the timeline,
Gotcha.
And yeah, those guys. I mean,
is it Bell's Puppets?
Bell's Puppets.
Yeah.
There it is.
So I think it was Rick G or someone from our community reached out to us and was like, "Yeah, are you minting this?" And I was just like, I don't know, man. But this is it right here.
It was whatever. It was like $3 or $5, so it was like $1 or $2 maybe. So, dude, the way degens are. I'm sure people minted 1,000 of them. You know what I mean? And I think they minted out in like 15 minutes. It was like real fast, man. Yeah.
You needed a puppet to mint this, though, right?
No, I believe you got them for free. If you had a puppet, you got you got puppets free. That's what they did. I don't know how many puppet holders actually claimed them. I heard it was a few hundred. But then basically right after that, you could go mint them yourself. And they had made it. I visited the page where it was like you could mint 50 at a time, and if you didn't have bells, you could pay in. This was actually really smart what they did, which was you could just send Bitcoin in. So, it'd give you the total in Bitcoin. Oh, 50 bells is $100. Send, 0.0001 Bitcoin in to this address. And then you just had to give them a Nintendo wallet address, and they'd send the bells over to you, or send the bells over to you. Yeah. So, yeah, they minted out. They did a good job, man. I mean, there was like, people were psyched about them, Puppets.
Yeah. They look cool. I like them. They're different.
Bro, never fade the fucking puppets, man.
Yeah. And it's not the same image either. Like, it's not like, how when they do like Bitcoin punks or fractal punks, it's the punk images. This is actually different art.
Yeah, they did the
Bears.
the Nook guy. So in Animal Crossing Nook, if you guys, I've never played Animal Crossing, but the first character you meet in Animal Crossing is this like raccoon called Nook. And so that face is Nook. And that's why like in Bell's Coin, when you see like Nook or the first Bell 20 was Nook, it's kind of all related to this Animal Crossing thing. We actually, you guys probably don't know, but we actually, when we got the chain spinning up again, we took like a community vote. What do we want to call like a Satoshi, a sat? What do we want to call it on Bell's coin? And Nook was the thing that won.
Oh,
so an individual bell, like the lowest denominator of a bell,
is a Nook.
Is interesting.
Bro, like everything about Bell's chain is meme culture. I mean, literally, like the marketplace is Nintendo. I mean, it's what I mean. Like you got the freaking Nook, and you got the puppets already. I love it, and I think that it's going to transcend like to that degen, attract that degen type of user once we're in the full bull. So I need to pick up more Bell's coin. Is what I need to do.
It's like, dude, it's just it's fun and silly and cheap enough where people can do stuff for fun. Like, I think that has a lot of value, especially in kind of this culture we're in, where kind of, you're on Bitcoin and it's expensive and this and that. Playing around and stuff when it's cheap is it's fun, right?
Yeah.
And that can be a really nice foundation for building culture, I think. And I think we've done that to a large degree. Not, trust me, I'm not saying me, but the community has kind of done this like fun thing. And one of the things was, I don't know if you guys saw it, but a guy basically spun up a 10K. It was called, what's it called? Like Suit Billy. Have you seen that one? So if you look for Suit Billy on the timeline, SUIT Billy on the timeline, this guy was like, let me do it. He wrote me because he was like, I want to do a 10K and I want to donate part of the proceeds to Billy Marcus, right? Founder of Bell's Coin, founder of Dogecoin. Because he's got none. I gifted him some, other communities gifted him some, but it's like thousands. It's not a lot, right? And he's like, but I want to do it. So I'm thinking about, and I talked to him about it. And he's like, well, should I donate 20%, 30%? I was like, bro, if you're going to do this, you need to donate like all of it, right? To get people really behind it. And so he basically took my advice. He did this 10K. You could mint it. It was like, I don't know, 5 or 10 bell per, I think it was maybe 10 bell per mint or per inscription. And it minted out. And he's given, I think it's 110,000 bell to Billy Marcus. So Billy Marcus is now like a top 50 holder of Bell's Coin. So I think like that's the type of thing that this community is doing, where, right now we're small and it's great for us. But as, if Bell's actually gained some real traction, this is one of those like pieces of lore where, when Billy Marcus actually is like a top 50 holder of Bell's Coin, that's pretty awesome. Right?
Yeah.
And that this was basically community funded. People just bought them, minted them.
Yeah.
All that money went to Billy. Like, that's fucking awesome. And, whether people, trust me, there was a lot of pushback to this, and myself included. I was like, I don't know how good an idea is. And community members are like, bro, don't do it. Bro, Billy's going to fucking dump it. He's going to wreck the market. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't like crypto, all this shit. Right. But I said, guys, look, if he dumps it and sells it for whatever, it's probably, 80K worth of bells. If he sells it for 80,000, like, bro, it's a great story. And we get to dunk on Billy for doing the same thing he did on Doge, which was sell too early, turned his, 25K, which was 25K, could have held it and it's worth $1 billion, but if he holds it and Bell goes up, I mean, dude, if Bell went to whatever, $10, then his, 100 grand in Bell's worth $1 million. And we've got even a better story. If Billy has $1 million in Bell. So I don't know. This type of stuff is like, this is just creates great fucking lore for Bell's Coin. This is just like awesome. And this was all literally just a dude who was like, I want to do something special. And he pulled it off, man. I got to give him all the credit, man.
It's a really cool thing here. So some rude folks are tagging or messaging Billy just because he founded Bell's Coin. He created it over 10 years ago, but it doesn't mean he has any reason to do anything. The newly revived Bell's Coin community, and the messages are pretty cool. It's like, Anon, Billy, please come back to Bell's Coin, fam. Billy's like, what? And he's like, we need you. He's like, why? And then it says, pump my Bell's coin bags. And he's like, oh, hand face emoji. Well, that I love this. I love this project. I'm gonna have to pick some up just because of that. That's really cool.
Yeah, Billy. I mean, like some of the interactions. I mean, people have screenshotted all of them now because it's so fucking awesome. But yeah, you know the way it is, man. Especially if you're a founder of something, man. People, you've bought yourself a job for the rest of your life, right? And even when Billy like this, you know, we spun Bell's Coin back up. Yeah, Billy's the founder, but like it was a dead chain, and we brought it back. And like literally the first day, people were like, yo, when are you going to talk about this? He's like, go fuck, dude, I don't even have any of it. What do you want me to do, man? Go fuck yourself. You know? Which is like interesting. And you see that. So this is like, I mean, I of course never expect Billy to even post about it, right? But he was nice enough to like, when the guy sent him, you know, the final like payment or whatever, and tweeted at him, like he wrote back, was like, bro, that's a lot of bells. Thank you. You know, he was nice, you know? But we kind of have a rule in our Discord, like, bro, stop tagging Billy. No tagging Billy unless you're being cool. Like, stop with the like, don't think he's gonna pump our bags. He's not, you know. But it is a good story and cool story that he's got a, you know, pretty significant holding of bells now. I think is pretty awesome, man, for sure.
Yeah. I'm curious if he ever done a podcast or anything. I would love to like actually hear him. Probably not.
And get him on I should try. I just want to know if he's
what's his last name? I'm not gonna bother him. I'm just curious.
So him on Twitter, he's actually Billy MK2, I think. Billy M2K maybe.
And he has nothing to do with crypto anymore.
At Billy M2K.
Oh, he's the
when you see him, he's huge on Twitter, dude. I mean,
yeah. But I thought he has nothing to do with Doge anymore.
Zero, bro. Zero. It's got zero. I mean,
I always see his tweets.
Yeah.
Zero. I mean, he's Shibtoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Oh, I do see him all the time.
Yeah, dude, he's huge.
He has nothing to do with Doge. I can't believe
that's
it.
So funny.
Who controls Doge now?
Nobody, bro. It's literally. I mean,
I thought they have core devs though, right? A core team or no?
They do. They were able to set up a full foundation.
Gotcha.
And so they do have a core, you know, team that keeps it running.
But it has nothing to do with like any of the initial founders, basically.
No, not at all.
Gotcha.
No, the initial like Billy stayed at least on Twitter. The other founder, Jackson Palmer, like isn't even on social media anymore. Like it's completely out, like zero goose egg. Yeah, you see how it is to a degree, and I think we've learned. I guess kind of recently, what was it? Oh, the decentralized team, right? Which, you know, I was on a couple spaces talking about, you know, the unfortunate way they kind of maybe handled that. But you see what they did, which was like, I mean, in my view, they put money in to take a risk, because if it blew up, that money was going to be worth 10x, 20x, 50x what they put in. But it didn't really work. Runes kind of died, and they just basically washed their hands on out, ghosted, right? Because they realize if they don't do that, they literally have bought themselves a job forever, right?
Yeah.
People forever will be like, why aren't you posting? Why aren't you talking more? When fucking Lambo, when everything. And they were just like, we're out. They've like learned, you know, kind of their little bit of a lesson that, you know, Billy and those guys kind of, you know, learned first, which is like, if you launch something like this, if you don't get out, you've literally bought yourself a job forever.
But then it took off though after that,
right?
Big time. So I mean, it could happen with decentralized too.
Well, that's right. I mean, decentralized too, but they haven't sold any of their bags as far as I know, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they're like, we're washing our hands, and now you guys go take care of it, and if it runs, we can still benefit from it. So it's kind of a there were a lot of things to not like about the way those guys handled it. Like I'm not giving those guys like the out. In my opinion, they did not handle it correctly.
So the problem was they basically ran the OXBT playbook, right? Our collection, you know, OXBT was the coin. It was the same exact thing. I mean, besides, you know, OXBT did more shady a lot of shady stuff that behind the scenes. But you know, it's when I seen like a few weeks ago and the price was just going down and people were the same reaction. Oh, I'm buying the dip, I'm buying the dip. It reminded me of OXBT, and I said it on the show. A lot of guys got mad at me, but I ended up doing the same thing. And then the OXBT, they decentralized the token, decentralized the token. It was the same. It was like repeating. It was the same month. Like it was
the same month. That was weird.
It was the same month. A year later,
But
I was like, this is the exact playbook of OXBT.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, I you know, my personal feeling on it is, yeah, that's just not the way you do it, right?
Well, art and coins will never mix. You cannot have an art project and coins. It's never gonna work, in my opinion.
I mean, it worked for a little bit with ApeCoin for a little while.
But
I mean, we were in
ApeCoin
decent conditions. Yeah, we were in decent conditions at that time.
But it's still ApeCoin's down 98%.
Yeah, I know right now.
The top. Like I'm just saying, like, you know, and but it could pump again, but I mean, it might not. So
yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, I mean, when was the halving? I don't even know. 6 months.
April.
Ago?
April.
I'm sorry, that's not a good college try, in my view.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rune shit the bed, no fucking doubt.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you fucking turn in. Like, fucking give up, dude.
Yeah.
Give up is like, go fuck yourself. I mean, frankly, that's the way I look at it. I mean, I'm not a whole, like, I have zero interest. It doesn't matter to me. But still, like, you put this out, you put your name on it. To give it 6 months is fucking pathetic, dude. I just, my view. It's like, dude, that's a college try.
You can't really expect it. They're ETH guys, right? They came over here, ETH. They had to. I mean, the project didn't do that great over there. I mean,
guys that came over though.
But that's what I'm saying, though. It's like it's.
I mean, we were over here too.
Well, but my point was, we got over here, you know, like April, May, super early. Yeah, and then these guys come like a year late after everything's already pumping. Like, oh yeah, we'll just take. It just seemed like a liquidity grab, even though like they did airdrop it, but they kept 20% of the supply or whatever the supply was. I think it was like 18,000, and then they kept like 3,000 or something. So they did have a good portion of the supply of the Prometheans, which eventually gave them decentralized, right? So they did have a good portion of the supply. So I don't know. They said they didn't dump the tokens, but
Prometheans was a success. That part for them, or if they were, I mean, like for the people that made those moves, those smart moves, right? Like you could make a lot of money off of that. But the runes thing that you said earlier is that like, runes kind of shit the bed. I know this is a little off topic, but like, I'm curious of what your thoughts are. Do you think runes are done, or what's your thought on that?
I think that eventually Bitcoin will settle on a fungible token standard. I think runes probably has as good a chance as any of being that standard. It's just too early. I don't know. You know,
I blacked out.
Opcat and something to do with that. It may be. It may be on Fractal. Shit, it might be on Bell's Coin, man. I don't know. You know, but the reality is, I think it's too early to tell. There's too much. You know, we've had too much kind of building L2s, all this stuff. I don't even know. It's taps. It's, it's 800 things. You know, I'm heavily in the space. You guys are heavily in the space. I'm fucking confused. You know what I mean? But I know with certainty that there is going to be a fungible standard on Bitcoin that will be the standard.
Main.
Right? Which one that's going to be, I don't know. And, so that still needs to be. I do not think runes are like done, and I think but to get back to this like decentralized thing, like I'm an ETH guy too. Like Leonidas is an ETH guy, right?
Yeah,
Leonidas isn't giving up, on dog. I just think that effort was fucking pathetic and screams to Shizzy's point of like fucking cash grab, right? They came in late. They put $500,000 in, but they look at that as an investment. Like we'll put $500,000 and we get a whole bunch of fucking tokens. We're the biggest, Kong holders. So we get a huge, amount of tokens there. We keep a team allocation. Who knows if they were selling in that whole time into the Prometheans or whatever. And then to just bail 6 months out, just to me is weak. It's weak sauce. And they, people are right to give them shit for it because it's like cash grabby.
They made a short-term bet is what it was. And they didn't win it. That was it.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
But they didn't try though. They weren't like I offered them to come on a podcast. You know, I offered to jump in their spaces. I was in their Discord. Like I was begging these guys to come on the show, and they just still to this day they still haven't even responded to me. Right? I mean, I have a ticket out in their Discord, and they didn't respond to me. You know, I'm obviously not huge in the space, but I mean, you start with you can just do your rounds. Like get the communities that are begging you to come on their show. You know, just come out and just be yourself. Just brand it, right? I think that's the biggest thing that, and they didn't do that.
Just show up, bro. I mean, right?
Exactly.
Like, I mean, and that's the thing that feels just really bad for me is like, they put in money, they made a bet, but they were poised. If it did work, they were going to make millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, millions of dollars potentially for a $500,000 investment, which people will do all day long. People who have that kind of money, and then to bail on it so quickly, it's just it's. I think people are right to be pissed for sure.
Yeah. It's the tourist builders. We've seen them this past year plus. They come from another chain. They ordinals are hot whenever they come in, so they I'm going to be a part of this, build something great, and then it slows down, and then they don't see results in a short period of time, and then they bounce. So, but those, and then what happens is like typically 6 months later, that rush comes back and they missed it. So that's what's going to happen with decentralized. I promise. I
mean, hey man, like I know, and you guys know too, attention is pretty much everything, and there's something to be said about. People still pushing runes and Leo still pushing runes. Like, that sort of daily show up. Sometimes that shit wins, man. Just because that's the ones who showing up and continue to build and continue to like grow a community. Like sometimes that's all you need. And I can give you specific examples. The easiest one, which we were talking about before we came on the show, is fucking CryptoPunks. CryptoPunks, they were successful at launch, but by successful, it's like 50 people, right? Maybe 100 people, right? Had CryptoPunks. But when it died and there was, 2018, 2019, 2020, and there were 0 people interested in NFTs, there were still 5 dudes in that Discord who were still
crazy,
right? And those 5 people, kept it alive, kept it going. And when it came back, those guys are all millionaires, right? But, that takes special people and people who don't give up. And I think, in a lot of ways, Ordinals has that. That's why I'm so bullish on Ordinals long term. It's why, things like Rare Pepe, I would never, ever, ever fade that because there's a core group of people who were literally there when nobody on earth cared. And, when you get core communities like that, what we now call cults, when you get cult communities like that, like I've learned, you don't ever fade cults, man.
Yeah. I can fix the decentralized. I think it's pretty easy. All they have to do is create a 10K PFP collection, right? 10K PFP collection. Put some really rare ones in there. These are one of ones. They got Leonidas' face on it. Some crazy stuff. And then just say you need to burn, 1/10,000th of the supply and a Promethean, and then you will get airdrop this. You burn the entire supply of Prometheans, burn the entire supply of decentralized, and that way. But you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But then the 10K collection never comes out. So the lower the prices drop in Prometheans and decentralized, the more people are like, you know what? Let me take my shot here and try and get one of these NFTs, and maybe it will come out be this rare one.
I think that was collection on Bitcoin, right? And that's the way you only get the Kongs, right? I mean, just
exactly.
I mean, that's it was almost like they were afraid to like brand Kongs with us.
I know.
That was weird.
They could they can still do it, but like, I think that's what I was hoping for. That's why I still have from Promethean, and I still have some decentralized. I was like, I want to burn both of them. I'll just throw them in Satoshi's wallet and just send me a Kong, right? That'd be amazing. But they didn't.
You guys could have helped them with something with bridging Kongs over or something. I don't know.
But you know what?
Yeah, I mean, they could have used you guys.
Like you said, you wanted them on your show. You asked them to come on. You asked them to promote, and they were just like, give you a goose egg. Dude, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
DMs me today and it's like, come on my podcast. Dude, I've gone on podcasts where people literally have like 5 subscribers on YouTube, right? I'll do literally every podcast on earth. Anybody who asks me, I'm like, automatic yes, right? Because it's like, dude, what are you doing? Are you in this space? Or
Yeah.
I mean, I have very little patience for people like that, man. I don't, yeah. It doesn't rub me right at all, man. Especially when there's so many people out here who are bending over backwards, like putting in the fucking work, grinding, like really want to build not only their projects and their bags, but the space in general. Like for people who aren't like that, go fuck yourself, man. Like literally, I got no patience. I mean, you look at like really good, like how good has T.O. been, in what he's done with Peach and Ninjas, dude?
Yeah.
Every fucking conference, there's a pizza bus tour, a pizza fucking, I don't know, a bar hop, whatever. Dude, the dude, it's like, I think I tweeted out like a couple months ago. If Yuga Labs had continued to do shit like that, what do you think the Bored Ape floor would be, bro? It'd be 25 fucking ETH. But they stopped doing that stuff. And it's like, they just don't realize that's all it takes. Like you look at the T.O. playbook, what T.O. has done is the exact thing Yuga could have done. It's same thing Decentralized could have done. It doesn't take much. That's all you have to do, but it takes fucking time, energy, and fucking gumption.
Well, one thing about T.O. though, he really enjoys it. I mean, you can just tell he really enjoys being that person. I mean, I obviously, he's an investor and he has that whole aspect of it, but it seems like he really enjoys, like, every shot home on camera, giant smile on his face, right? Sure. And he enjoys eating pizza because you know what I mean. So who doesn't? But like, it would seem like that was just such a perfect thing for him to go after. It really makes him who he is, And we had him on our podcast, I think one of our spaces before, and he seems like a genuine guy.
Yeah, I think, and it's reflected. Somebody put out a tweet about like which ordinal is hold the floor and like which NFT I think it was all actually across like all NFTs, which was the most successful basically launch over the last 2 years, and like Pizza Ninjas was like number 3, I think.
Yeah.
As far as like the return on investment, it was, I actually, that's when I tweeted at T.O. I was like, man, congrats, bro. Because I know this isn't about a cool picture or, add-ons. It's just about everything. He's done all this stuff to try and bring additional value, including in real life events, and which I don't even know. He's probably had like 10 over the last year. It's impressive. So yeah, had to him.
Well, Adam, this has been absolutely amazing, man. Second episode of Bell's Corner, phenomenal. I want to give you the stage. Any last updates on Bell's before we let you go?
Man, it's going to be this. It's got to be this week. Testnet, for OpCat. I'm excited. Of course, my DMs are wide open. Shoot me a DM on Twitter. I'll hook you up with our core dev team. If you're a developer, you want to build something, we are super supportive, and I think devs will tell you we're super supportive. Just helping you build, man. We want to try some crazy ass shit on Bell's Coin. So you want to build a casino, you want to build a fucking, I don't even know, go fucking nuts, tap game, building tap games, anything, man. I'm here to support and try to help build out this ecosystem. So yeah, give me a shout.
Let's go. That's perfect. Thank you, sir. And we'll hit you back up in like 2 weeks. We'll do episode 3.
Let's do it, man. Appreciate you guys.
Been a pleasure.
See you, bud. Absolutely amazing, guys. Adam McBride, a legend in the space. I really appreciate that. Him coming on and doing this with us. Can't find the thing, but here we go. But yeah, guys, please check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles there. We have articles dating back all the way to from last year. If you know someone new entering the space, send them our website. I really feel like it can really help them really get started. Check it out. And if you're interested, we have some of the best merch, I think, in Ordinals. Check out our store. Just hit the little store tab. We'll take it right to it. Our Shopify, and you guys can go in there. And just so you guys know, it's a third party. We don't see your address. We don't see any of that. It's all done through a third party, and we make a few bucks on it. So appreciate you guys just checking that out.
Yep. And if you guys have a moment, please check out our partners, BitPerp, which is a premium perpetual DEX that's going to be launching on a Bitcoin layer 2 in Q4. We just met with those guys earlier. There's going to be some news coming out very soon, and we'll update you guys on the paper trading competition to where you can win passes. So that should be, I would say, here in about 3 to 4 weeks, but we will give you guys an update soon. Ordinal Hive, another partner of ours, they are a Ordinal marketplace aggregator on Bitcoin's native layer. So you'll be able to find the cheapest ordinals on Bitcoin with Ordinal Hive. They've also scaled out to a Merlin chain to where you can go to beta.ordinalhive.io, and you can utilize our platform. You can list, buy, sell, and you'll earn points. And you know how Blur did with their points. I think something similar is going to happen there. Fluid tokens, big announcement today. Layer 1 Bitcoin staking is live tomorrow. We're going to have a space with those guys. I think it's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to go over it. The first project they partnered with is the Billy Cats. You're going to be able to stake your Billy Cats and earn the $1 billion cat token, Rune token. So look out for that tomorrow. And then Verothium Dex is a synthetic Bitcoin Layer 1 asset-focused DEX that's on Merlin Chain. You can stake your BRC 420s. Right now, you can stake the mines, the Dragon Balls, or the Blue Box, and they're going to add more BRC 420s as well. So check them out. And finally, Foxy, which is a Tap Protocol project to build the Bitverse, which is a metaverse with Bitcoin, and they have the Bitverse Clan Wars. You can join a clan if you don't have one. I think our team is full because there are a bunch of professional gamers. We're going to win that competition, which is the reward is 25 Bitminers. So check that out, and thank you for checking out our partners.
If you are a professional gamer and want to join our team, let us know.
We might have a couple spots left.
But guys, we're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.